So I typically tell people, like, when you know something is working, that's when you start to bring in the specialists that are able to build that out more. If you don't know what's working, you don't have data, you don't have experience, bring people in that can at least get the work done and can speak to everything.
Got it. And yeah, like, and something that you told me like off camera before too, like when it came to you actually hiring people as a marketing director, that's something that you actually looked out for. You typically find journalists first and then those with specialties. Can you kind of dive into more like that kind of strategy in between, like how that works out?
My thought process on that. Yeah, so I think it's sort of a middle of the road, like a best of both worlds sort of decision, because, you know, when I was doing that, I was a team of one, and my thought process was two things. One, who do I need to hire to move the needle the most? So in that case, that's more of that specialist sort of mindset. But then the other side, I'm like, what is the biggest time suck? Like what, because I have a million other things on my plate. What is just taking up the most time? And for me, it was content. So I brought on a content specialist that would manage social media, support some blog writing, and it was just a lot of writing and a lot of like tactical day-to-day stuff. And that was my biggest time suck, but that was what was going to move the needle for us, because we found I was building out a content strategy at the time that I thought would work well, and I would need someone like fully dedicated to helping build out that content strategy, which did ultimately work out. So like we did that, and then the two other people that I hired later on were a growth marketer who could kind of tackle some of the email stuff, but like start to build out some of that scalability and get more rigorous about testing, because we had so much content. It got to the point where we were just bloated with content, but we needed someone with more of a performance growth mindset to know, like, we need to kill this. We need to only emphasize this. We need to, you know, tighten this ship up. And then we hired a graphic designer, because our content specialist was like, she wasn't a trained designer. She's fantastic with her work, but she was like, I cannot keep doing this. So for her, it was like, what's her biggest time suck? Generalists should be able to be flexible to whatever situation. They should be the most adaptable. A specialist can be the same way, but most likely they're going to be incredibly flexible within their bubble. But they're going to be able to go incredibly deep within that field, much deeper than most generalists would. So I think everyone should be able to, regardless of if you're okay at something, or if you have some level of knowledge, or you have very deep level of knowledge, you should be able to speak to like short, medium, long-term goals or programs that you should be implementing. Whether they're well-informed or not, you know, will depend on your experience and the team you're working with and the information you have on hand. But I think, you know, you should be able to at least speak to that regardless of your service, your knowledge. What would you consider like yourselves?
Yeah, it's
journalist kind of makes more sense. At least for me personally, I'm the kind of type where I like to kind of get my hands in different kind of things just to get a better sense of it. But of course, if I know someone that's better, I'm not afraid to allocate responsibility or see someone who is a specialist to kind of dive deep into those different roles.
No, I definitely see myself as a generalist. I feel like I've spent a lot of time specializing at this point, funny enough, like whether that's content strategy or some of my old roles, but like, I don't know, similar to you, Connor, I feel like I've worked for like very small, like you said, mom and pop shops that like don't know where their next buck is going to be. They just have a product and they know they need some sort of marketing support.
Right.
So I think like those kind of situations actually help me a lot, because it's like, yeah, we have to come up with the whole plan from scratch and execute it. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of learnings there. There's a lot of failures along the way.
Welcome to The Cabin, a podcast where we interview diverse minds to learn about their paths to building skills and creative confidence. I'm Sid.
And I'm Ibra. Let's dive in.